We live in a universe of patterns. Every night, the stars move in circles across the sky. The seasons cycle at yearly intervals. No two snowflakes are ever exactly the same, but they all have sixfold symmetry. Tigers and zebras are covered in patterns of stripes. Intricate trains of waves march across the oceans. Very similar trains of sand dunes march across the desert. Colored arcs of light adorn the sky in the form of rainbows, and a bright circular halo sometimes around the moon on winter nights. Spherical drops of water fall from the clouds.
Human minds and cultures have developed a formal systems thought for classifying, recognizing, and exploiting patterns. We call it mathematics. Mathematics used to organize and systemize our ideas about patterns, but we have discovered a great secret. Nature's patterns are not just there to be admired, but they are the vital clues to the rules that governs natural processes.
Johannes Kepler, a German astronomer who wrote a book 400 years ago called The Six-Centered Snowflake. So, what's your book all about? The Six-Cornered Snowflake. He argued that snowflakes must be made by packing tiny identical units together. Kepler performed no experiments. He just thought very hard about various bits and pieces of common knowledge. His main evidence was the sixfold symmetry of snowflakes, which is a natural consequence of regular packing.
Wow! There's so much beauty in nature's clues.
We can all recognize this without any mathematical training. You also find a different kind of beauty in mathematical stories because they start with clues and deduce underlying rules and regularities, applying them to ideas rather than objects.
Do you see a pattern? Pattern is the arrangements of numbers, shapes, and colors. Examples are desert, mountain, waves.
We are still learning to recognize new kinds of pattern. Only within the last 30 years has humanity become explicitly aware of the two types of pattern, now known as fractals and chaos.
You see this? This is what you call a fractal. And fractals are geometric shapes that have repeating structures on ever finer scales. Chaos, on the other hand, is an apparent randomness whose origins are entirely deterministic.
Nature knew about these patterns billions of years ago, for clouds are fractal and weather is chaotic. The simplest mathematical objects are numbers, and the simplest of nature's patterns are numerical. Examples of these would be the phases of the moon make a complete cycle from new moon to full moon and back again every 28 days. A year is 365 days long, roughly. People have 2 legs, cats have 4, insects have 6, and spiders have 8.
A very curious pattern indeed occurs in the petals of flowers.
In nearly all flowers, the number of petals is one of the numbers that occur in the same sequence: 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89. Examples are lilies have 3 petals, buttercups have 5, many delphiniums have 8, marigold have 13, asters have 21, and most daisies have 34, 55, or 89. Each number is obtained by adding the previous 2 numbers together.
Numerology is the easiest and most dangerous method for finding patterns. It is easy because anybody can do it, and dangerous for the same reason.
In addition to numerical patterns, there are geometric ones. In fact, this book really ought to have been called Nature's Numbers and Shapes.
Our newfound understanding of nature's secret regularities gives us a deeper vision of the universe in which we live and our place in it.